Hey, what's going on, guys? Got a Paleozoic deck tech for you, and let's get into it. It's kind of not too weird of a list, but just kind of got a few of my own personal card choices. So first off, we got 3 Swap Frog, just because you have to play Swap Frog. Kind of had to play the Frog engine. Lets you Foolish Burial any frog, just keeps your graveyard full. Dupe Frog, another great frog. Really, just the only other really good frog you get to run. Dupe Frog's kind of cool though because it's usually what you get off totally awesome. Because it's the only creature your opponent can target for an attack. Let me see how it's worded. Yeah, your opponent can only select Dupe Frog for an attack. So there's this really cool thing you can do. If you have 2 Dupe Frogs out, your opponent basically is locked out of attacking you unless they can out one of the Dupe Frogs. So if you have 2 Dupe Frogs out, you're safe from battle. And then we have 2 Ronin Totem. This is actually, I believe, a 46 card list, and I'm playing 2 Pot of Desires. So yeah, it has come up to me before where I've like potted on turn one and ended up banishing both of the toads. And it always feels terrible, but I just don't think you can bump it up to 3 because it also, like, if you ever open with a Ronin Toad and it feels terrible because you can't really do anything with it, you can just like set it and then wait for them to attack and get it in your graveyard. But it's got a big butt. I'm pretty sure Dupe Frog has a big butt. Yeah, they both have 2,000 defense, so that's also really good. Um, then the next thing, Paleos has a really hard time going second, so there's a lot of going second cards in my build. Um, and here we have 2 Gamma Seal, 2 Kaiju. Again, just kind of a hard time outing certain creatures, certain things going second. Then some hand traps. 2 Ash Blossom. And then we also have 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. And again, these could be anything. I think if you're going to run 4, though, it kind of needs to be the 2-2 split. Because if you want to do like 3-1, I think just opening multiples of the same hand trap, one is terrible because they're all once per turn. And secondly, I don't know, these could easily be Effect Veiler. I know Ash Blossom went down a lot with her recent reprint in Shadows in Valhalla. Ghost Ogre's still a little expensive, so like I said, this could be if you want like 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Ash, or even 3 Effect Veilers, even though I said, you shouldn't have a playset. Just however you want. Alrighty, those are all the creatures, and now on to the spells. I think there's only 5 spells. The first one is Monster Reborn. One thing Paleos has is like it's kind of hard to. You'll never end up with a board with like 5 or 6 creatures, so this just kind of helps you extend a little bit. A few of the going second cards, Raigeki and Dark Hole, they kind of speak for themselves. Just great going second cards. Now you could side these if you wanted, but it's fine. I think they're powerful enough and okay enough in the deck to where they're just great main. And the last 2 spells are 2 Pot of Desires. Excuse me. Again, this is a 46 card list, so I think 2 pots is fine. I don't like ever running 3 pots in any deck unless it's a 60 card deck because just opening more than one or ever drawing the second or third is just literally the worst thing ever. Oh, can you see those? It's just the worst thing on the planet, and God forbid you Pot of Desires into a Pot of Desires. So, 5 spells. And lots of traps. And we'll start off with the Paleo traps. And I'll try to pronounce these as best I can, but most of the time, I'll just say I'll use, I'll MST, and that's what this one does. Paleozoic Olenoidus, I think. It's just a mystical space typhoon, and has the same effect of all the Paleos. We have Canadia. If I can get them off the deck. 3 Canadia, just let you book a moon a creature. Also really good. And then for the last 3, we have 3 Dynamiscus. Just being able to banish basically anything by discarding cards pretty good. If you have a dead hand trap or I don't know. There's a Imperial Order in here, so if you have like a dead spell, really good to discard. And just kind of a good out to anything. If I could run any other Paleo, I'm not sure what the name is, but I would really like to have a single copy of the one that lets you send a Paleo trap from deck to graveyard. Excuse me. I think that'd be just really good in the deck. Just as a one of, though. You wouldn't want more than one. And that's all the Paleo traps. And then just on to kind of some of my own personal picks. 3 Wabaku. Again, I think it's just really good. You never have such a board presence that you can OTK reliably. It's kind of a hard deck to OTK with, so you want to live as long as you can. and you can chain obviously all the Paleos to these. So there's that. There's one Infinite Impermanence. It's the only copy I have. If I had three, I might have all three in here. Again, it's just a good going second card. If you don't have this, or you want to like budget the deck out a little bit, this could be an Effect Veiler, or any counter trap. Again, if I had three of these, I would probably I'd probably switch out all the hand traps for Card of Demise, because Card of Demise is terrible with hand traps, but it's really good with this card. Kind of rewards playing traps. 3 Reckless Greed. Again, I think just you want as many resources as you can, because not a lot of your cards turn into more cards like many decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Do. It's kind of your cards do what they do and that's it. They don't really get you card advantage, so you need card advantage in forms of other things like pots and Reckless Greed. 3 Lost Wind. Let me see if up there. 3 Lost Wind. I feel like Lost Wind is better than Breakthrough Skill, just because I don't know. It just the having the attack, I feel like it's just better because, again, you have a hard time getting over a lot of creatures. So the fact that you can permanently have creatures is really good for your frogs. And then the 1 Breakthrough Skill, I may switch this though to like a 2-2 split where I have 2 Breakthrough Skill, 2 Lost Wind, because the Breakthrough Skill is really good, but I just feel like the Lost Wind in so many cases can be more backbreaking. 2 Mistake. Again, these could be anti-spell fragrance. We only have 5 spells in the deck. I've not tried the deck with them. It's probably great, especially in the meta today. But Mistake is one of those cards that every time I flip it, it's always more backbreaking than you think it'll be. It's just like, not a blowout, but it is a very good card they have to deal with most of the time. And again, if these were anti-spell fragrance, I don't know that we'd cut any spells, but you have to be conscious of that. And we don't really want the spell fragrance because we do have the 1 Imperial Order. And just having 3 to 4 counter spell effects, I think, is good, but we have enough spells that we care about too. I think because all our spells are like big impact spells. Like, we don't have weird weak spells. All of our 5 spells are things that will really impact the game. Yeah, maybe not the Monster Reborn as much, but the pots, you don't want to draw a pot and not be able to cast it. And for the last 4 cards, 2 Solemn Strike, a Solemn Warning, and a Solemn Judgment. And I don't have the 3rd strike in here because I guess you could, especially as cheap as it is, a good budget option for the impermanence, but you can't respond to it with your Paleo cards, or you can't chain Paleo cards to counter spells, or counter traps, excuse me, because of the spell speed difference. So you don't want too many counter traps in the deck, but they are powerful, and I do think they warrant a spot in the deck. Now onto the extra deck. Again, the extra deck isn't where I kind of want it to be. Kind of missing a few cards I would like, but we'll get into that. First and foremost, the card that makes the deck what it is and viable, I feel like, is totally awesome. Just such a good negation on a creature and just letting you get advantage every turn from it. Really good. 2 Opabenia. Just a really good defensive play if you have to go into it. Again, I don't know if I would have it at 2. You hardly ever go into the second one, but I don't really have anything else to put in its spot. Probably fine at 2. 2 Animalocaris, or however you say it. This is a card I definitely wouldn't want it to, and I don't want it at 2, but if I could take one of these out, if I had a Daigusto, or what is it, Daigusto Phoenix, the one that lets you attack twice, I would definitely replace it, take this out and put that in, but since it's all I have, so what's in here? So let me move this down just a little bit of glare I've noticed. I mean, the other reason I want the Phoenix is because of Cat Shark. Kind of lets you go for OTK if you get both of them out. A lot of resources, though, to go into both of them, but if you're in a position where you make the Phoenix this turn, then the Cat Shark next turn, you can go for OTK. The Phantom, again, just to get over weird creatures, like, if you have to, I don't know, just anything weird, that's kind of what the extra deck is for, just little bullets. It's all the Xyz monsters, and then the rest are just Link monsters. So we have 2 Mistar Boy. Just the best Link card you can have in the deck. Lets you recycle a water monster when it goes to grave. Really good, kind of like Toad. I think 3 is too much, though. You really never go into the third one. Underclock Taker, Decode Talker. And then these last two are a little weird and kind of resource heavy, but again, they just kind of help go for game, and they help push when Paleos kind of have a hard time pushing. Topologic Bomber Dragon. Again, it kind of takes a lot of resources to go into, but if you can, really easy to wipe the board with, just the way your Paleos work. And then Sword Dragon, again, very resource heavy card. But if you can make it, and if you're in a position where you're kind of controlling the game even a little bit, which is what the deck wants to do, you go into this and you just win. I mean, you just win. You have one of their creatures attack, put it in defense, attack twice. They can't respond to it. It's a really good card. So guys, Paleozoic deck tech, hope you like it. I may try to do some live games, film with some buddies of mine. That way you can see this in action, more deck techs, and some more openings for you guys. So, hope you liked the video.